Hi everybody, welcome back to the Independent View. Today we want to look at the issue of the Fairness Doctrine. This brings in a couple of principles that we need to discuss to understand the idea of the Fairness Doctrine. The first is the constitutional guarantee of free speech. Is the guarantee of free speech unconditional? In other words, is free speech in our nation, is it absolute? The answer is no. If you want to find out, go to your local municipal court while court's in session, walk in and begin singing at the top of your voice your own self-composition to accompany the movie Surf Nazis Must Die, and see how long that you're able to continue. Or if you get a megaphone and walk up and down the streets of your neighborhood at 3 a.m. screaming, "My neighbors are idiots," see the limits of your free speech tested. The other principle that comes into play is that of government agencies being apolitical. In this instance, it's the Federal Communications Commission. The Federal Communications Commission is supposed to be a non-political government agency to regulate the nation's airwaves. In other words, assign frequencies and signal strengths, and make sure that people don't impede on other people's radio space, and to some extent a decency standard of broadcasting, that sort of thing. It's not meant to favor one political party or another over another, or be a political instrument. To give you another example was the IRS. The IRS was never intended to be a political oriented institution, but some of our nation's political leaders have tried to make it such. As an example, Richard Nixon, who used the IRS as an attack dog on his political opponents. The IRS was instituted to gather and calculate the taxes on American citizens and business. So the FCC has no bearing, or should have no bearing, on political thought or expression in this country. Now, back to free speech. Does free speech guarantee me an audience? This is a critical point of the argument of the Fairness Doctrine. I'll show you what I mean. Let's say that you get a permit and you pick a street corner and you begin to espouse your viewpoints on a certain topic, and you get an audience of, let's say, 300 to 500 people. I go get my permit with an opposing viewpoint. I go a couple blocks away and set up on my street corner, but I've only got 3 people. Apparently the people would rather listen to you than they would listen to me. Now, should the government go to you and force you to share your audience with me? Is that free speech? Does it guarantee you not only the right to speak, but the right for you to have an audience? This is what we see happening today. It seems like it's some politicians are unsettled because of talk radio that is, if you could describe it in one word, entertainment. Although it does have a very powerful influence on a nation, but it's something that people want to hear. The left talk radio has been tried, but it doesn't amass nearly as many listeners because people don't want to listen to it for one reason or another, which is fair play. If the product that you're offering is something that the people want, then that's what they'll buy. And this is what's happening. We're finding out that some of the politicos, they want to abuse or illegitimately change the Constitution and the principles of our government, or at least what they should be or what they are, to give them some sort of a temporary inconvenience. Think about these things that I've said and let me know what you think.